Hello everyone and welcome to Grinds Online Ireland. I'm Tara and today I'll be talking about the chain rule. So we use the chain rule when we want to find the derivative and if there's a function inside a function. That's our first step. So an example would be log of x squared plus 1. So as we can see here, the x squared plus 1 is inside that log. We have a function inside a function, so our inside function, which we usually call u, would just be x squared plus 1, and our outside function is the log, which we'll call v, and it's going to be hugging this inside function. Just think the outside function hugs the inside function. So it will be log of u. Another example would be sine of 3x plus 1. So here we can see the sine function is hugging that 3x plus 1. So our inside function would be 3x plus 1, which we call u, and our outside function would be sine and then of whatever is inside it, but we called whatever was inside it u, so it will just be sine of u. Now, the steps with finding the chain rule is to first find out what your u and v are. After you do that, you find the derivatives, du dx and dv du. And the reason why it's dv du, because we wrote v in terms of u. So whatever it is, whatever the function is in terms of is what goes on the bottom of our derivative. After finding these two derivatives then, to get the total derivative of the function, we simply just multiply the two derivatives together. So the derivative then we'll call f prime of x. That will simply be equal to du dx multiplied by dv du. Note also when we're doing the chain rule that we have to have our derivative all in terms of x. There can be no u's inside the formula for the derivative. So to get rid of the u's in our formula, we simply just have to substitute in what we called u initially, our inside function. So let's try some examples with this. So as we can see here, we have to find the derivative of the following using the chain rule. Now, the reason why we're using the chain rule is if we look at it really closely, there is a function inside a function. So that 2x squared plus 1 is inside that square root. It's the square root of 2x squared plus 1. So notice that I'm saying of. Whenever we hear an of, that usually means we're going to have a chain rule. For example, log of x squared plus 1 or sine of x squared plus 1. Whenever we hear of, that usually means chain rule. Note as well, another way we can write the square root of something is to the power of a half. So y, or formula, can simply be rewritten as 2x squared plus 1 to the power of a half. Okay, looking at this, guys, we have to find our inside function u and our outside function v. Well, our inside function is easy. That's just going to be everything inside the bracket. So that'll be 2x squared plus 1. Our outside function now is going to be everything outside that bracket to the power of a half. But remember, we have to have this in terms of u. So wherever I have a 2x squared plus 1, my u, I'm going to substitute in u. So v then will just be u to the power of a half. Next step, to find the derivative of both. So du dx, that's just going to be simple. So we bring down the 2, so it will become 4, and we take away 1 from the power, so it will be 4x. And whenever we take the derivative of a constant, so in this case 1, it's just 0, so our derivative du dx is simply 4x. Now we have to find the derivative of dv du. And the reason why it's dv du, again, is because v is in terms of u. So to find dv du, we have to find the power or the derivative of the u to the power of a half. But just treat it like it's a normal x. So again, we bring down the power, so it becomes a half, multiplied by u to the power of a half minus 1, because we always take away 1 from the power when we're finding the derivative. And we can simplify that down, so it'll be a half u to the power of minus a half. Now, finally, our derivative, dy dx, is simply just these two derivatives multiplied by each other. Du dx multiplied by dv du. Multiplying these two together, we're going to have 4x multiplied by a half u to the power of minus a half. We can simplify that down even further by multiplying the 4 and a half to get 2. So we'll just have 2x u to the power of minus a half. However, I'm not finished. My derivative must only be in terms of x. But here we have some u's. We're going to have to get rid of it, and how we do that is we go straight back up to the very top of our question and we have a formula for u in terms of x. So my final part then will be to substitute in this u value, so we'll get 2x multiplied by u, but u is simply just going to be 2x squared plus 1, all that to the power of minus half. So our conclusion then, guys, would be du dx is equal to 2x multiplied by 2x squared plus 1 to the power of minus a half. So again, guys, quick summary. The chain rule, we use it when we have a function inside a function. Your job would be to find the inside function u, the outside function v, find the derivatives of both of them, and multiply the two together. I hope that helps. Thanks for listening, guys.